Welcome to the Valdez Family Homestead. If you are new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe because we are bringing you exciting content, and go ahead and give us a like because it just helps us out a ton. Also leave comments below what you guys would like to see here on the homestead as well, because we like to make informational videos to help you out maybe on your homestead, or if you're doing some backyard stuff to be self-sufficient. Go ahead and leave us some comments down below. If you're new to the channel, we were talking about our greenhouse and getting that floor leveled out because we had placed some pavers. But if you've been here with us on the channel, you know what I was talking about that greenhouse. Go check out that video if you haven't yet. We just went out to the store and picked up some sand and some topsoil to everything right now. We just have it kind of sorted on the floor. We've been pre-seeding some stuff in our greenhouse, and so we're getting all that ready so we can plant out in our garden. And so that's what we're doing here today. And so I just wanted to bring you guys along on this journey on this beautiful Sunday here. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday, or had a great Sunday depending on when you're watching this video. Let's go ahead and go take a look at what we're doing here today on the homestead. So what we got here is some topsoil and some all-purpose sand. We got 3 bags of the sand and then about 3 bags of this topsoil here, just to make it a little bit cheaper, because sand tends of course to be a little bit more expensive. And so if you mix some topsoil together with the sand, you can save you some money, especially if it's a project like this where you just have some pavers you need to level out. What we're gonna do here is open up our greenhouse, start taking out some of the stuff we pre-seeded in here. We've had our elderberry in here as well because of the freeze that happened not too long ago. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it. Very sad day here on the homestead, but I'm happy to say a lot of the stuff has made it through it, and we're starting to see more life and our plants and vegetables and our fruits here on the homestead that we'll be sharing with you in another video. So let's go ahead and start removing everything out of here, and then we're going to start leveling out this floor with this topsoil and the sand. Alright, so we've got all the plants and our vegetables and fruits moved out of the greenhouse here. Now we got to take the pavers out. Once we get the pavers out, we're going to see where it needs to be leveled out the most, because we have some pavers that are sticking up further than the others. So it's all emptied out in there. I'm going to show you how unlevel it is, then we'll do a before and after. And so you can see how uneven it is in there. There's several spots where it looks like the floor has caved in, and so some parts are lifted up and some parts are just completely lowered to the ground because how uneven it was when we initially dug this up. We were just trying to do it quickly so we could get this greenhouse up. So we're going to start removing all the pavers and then go from there. Alright, so we just finished getting all the pavers out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. So we got the inside here. As you can tell, I had initially put cardboard down so no weeds or anything could grow through here. And so I'm gonna start tearing out the sandbags and the dirt and start laying it out all here, and then just evening out this floor so we can get the pavers back in here. And I also got some shelves. We went and got some shelves so we could start putting shelves in here instead of having them on the floor. Now initially I was going to build out shelves to put in here. Of course, we all know wood over time tends to rot out. You don't want to put any treatment on the wood, especially because you are placing plants on those, and that's of course have tons of chemicals in there. And so you don't want to put your plants on something that has chemicals on there when you're growing it. Especially with the humidity in here, those chemicals can go up into the air, and so it could affect those plants and you could get very sick. So that's just something to think about. So what we did, we bought some plastic shelves, just a couple of shelves for now to place in here for the small amount of plants that we're growing for now. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath because it is so hot in this greenhouse. So you can only imagine how hot it is in here, outside here where we live. It is about 85 degrees right now. So in this greenhouse, it's probably about 105 degrees. So when I was moving out those pavers, kind of put me out of breath. It's very hot. I'm sweating a ton. And so let's go ahead and start breaking the bags up in here, and we're gonna get this floor leveled out. Before we continue with that, just wanted to show you the girls and how big they're getting. And by the girls, I'm speaking of the chickens. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out those older videos. We got some informational videos on the chickens, and when we first got the chickens, we also had some informational videos. And so if you don't know, we have some Isa Browns. We have 5 of them, and they're getting big. Every day they're growing. My kids have named them all. Let's see here. Let me see if I can remember the names. So we have Lola, Brownie, Snickerdoodle, Isa. I'm sorry, I can't remember all the names. Especially since I'm so out of breath right now, I just can't remember all the names. But they all have names. My kids named them all, except Snickerdoodle. I decided, because if you didn't know, an Isa Brown is a mixture between the White Rock and the Red Rock chicken. They are mixed with those 2 breeds. And so they get this beautiful brown white off color, so kind of like a Snickerdoodle cookie is where I got that name from. But they're growing big. Of course, we have more future videos that we're going to come out with those, and the feed when we start giving them, you know, their adult feed. Of course, right now they're roughly about 4 weeks, so we can start giving them, you can give them table scraps like your tomatoes, your lettuce and stuff like that. But we'll come out with future videos for that, more information on chickens and their bedding and what you want to use. Let's go ahead and get back at it. Alright, so we got all the bags opened up in here, so we're just going to take this metal rake, I'm going to go over it and even it out as much as possible. So we're just trying to mix the dirt and the sand as much as possible together. Like I said, it's much easier to do it this way, save you some money. You don't have to get all sand, especially if you're not trying to make it perfect. The sand costs about $5.50 a bag here, and the topsoil is going to cost you about $2 something. So it's going to save you quite a bit of money if you're able to do a mixture like this instead. All right, so we kind of got it all spread out here with our rake. We're going to go back with a 2x4 and kind of level it out as much as possible. Because the rake is kind of tearing at the soil and the sand. So with the 2x4, we can get it a little bit more even. Like I said, of course, we know we're not going to get it perfect, but we're going to get it as close to perfect as possible. Once we go over it with that 2x4, we're going to get our level and see how level we have it. If it's just about there, we're going to leave it there, call it a day, get our pavers back in here so we can get our plants, vegetables, and fruits back in here, so they can be safe and sound here in our greenhouse. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get our 2x4 and finish this out. So this is just my leftover scrap wood. It's just a 2x4. We're gonna go in there and just brush it lightly across the top. Let me go ahead and show you how it kind of looks, and then I'll put the level on top so you can see we almost got it there. And this is as good as it's gonna be able to get, though. We're not worried about it though, because we're just putting pavers. It's not like we're gonna concrete over this or anything like that. So it looks 100 times better in here than what it did when I put the pavers on top of just the dirt that was on the bottom of the ground. You can see right there, it's about leveled. Bringing it to the back here, about almost there in the middle, and then in the front here almost got it leveled. And so we're done placing our mixture of dirt and sand on here, so we're gonna go ahead and get all the pavers back in here, and then I'll come back to you guys. All right, we're done setting the pavers down. Now we're gonna get this shelf built so we can move our plants back in here. As you can see from the before and after, it's not perfect, but it's 100 times better than it was just laying these pavers here on the uneven ground with the cardboard I had placed underneath. So let's go ahead and get these shelves built, and then we can move everything back in here. And so these are a 5-tier shelf. So you got 5 shelves, but what I'm gonna do is one of them I'm gonna do with 2 shelves, and then the last one I'll do with 3 shelves here. So we'll have a 2 shelf and then a 3 shelf instead of having one big shelf, because this is the only one we're gonna have right now. So just to have things separated and organized a little bit more neatly, we're gonna do a 2 shelf and then a 3 shelf. So there's the 2 shelf. Now we're gonna go ahead and build out the 3 shelf. So they only give you, of course, the caps for 1 shelf because you're supposed to build one whole 5 shelf. You can buy these caps separate. Plus, they're not really necessary. It's not like it's keeping the shelf together or anything like that. And so all it is just the pole snapping into these holes right here, and that's what's holding it in place. The whole shelf built as the 5 tier is supposed to have 150-pound capacity, but we're only pre-seeding our plants in our greenhouse, so they're not even gonna have close to that amount of weight on it. And so this works out perfectly. Okay, so we've got everything moved in here. I'm gonna show you what all we've gotten planted so far. Now keep in mind, some of the stuff that we have had in here, we transplanted to our big raised garden beds outside here. And so most of this stuff in here is fairly new. Some of them haven't even sprouted yet, but I'm gonna give you guys a small tour. Also, we're excited because today when we were picking up all this stuff, sorry, I gotta kind of lean over here because my head touched the top of this greenhouse. Right here we've got spearmint. Spearmint comes in handy for many medicinal uses and helps out with many things. We can get that into another video, but we like to put it in our tea. So you put a little bit of the spearmint leaves inside your tea and it tastes wonderfully. And then right here we've got in our strawberries, we've got 1 strawberry on there growing so far. We might move that one outside here soon. And then give me one moment here and we'll get to the rest of the stuff. All right, I'm trying to get this video finished as quick as possible. Sorry, I'm burning up here. I don't know if you can see the sweat on my face. My face is red, but let me just take you the rest of the tour and then we'll get this video wrapped up here. And so these are the limes we just purchased today. So truly excited about those. We'll probably leave those in the greenhouse for a little bit longer, as well as the lemons that we just bought today. So there's the lemons. That's our lemon tree, and then the lime tree. Then under here we have some lavender growing. So that's our lavender. It's barely starting to sprout. They're very tiny little seedlings there. And then over here we have cilantro. You can see those. We just transplanted these to a bigger pot. We had those growing out of some eggs over here. So we've got cilantro, and there's a closer look at the strawberries. You can see the little strawberry. We've got a little strawberry growing right there. Probably gonna have to pick that pretty soon or it's gonna start dying. And then up here, we've got some more lavender. We've got some cabbage growing back there, some thyme, the marigold, some more cilantro back there. And then I can't recall what this one is right here in the middle, but we've got cayenne peppers, bell peppers, got all kinds of peppers growing back there. And so that's just a small tour of the greenhouse. I'm glad we've got this floor more leveled out now so we can evenly walk in here. We got those 2 shelves built out. Probably add some more in the future right here on the back side, but this greenhouse isn't too big, so we don't have too much room in here. But let me show you guys from the outside how it looks. So the inside of our greenhouse looks a little bit more organized. At least we don't have everything just
laying on the ground on an uneven floor.
That's gonna do it for this video today, guys. I appreciate you being here on the Valdez family homestead. Thank you so much for being here each and every day, supporting the channel. Like I said, if you're new, we have some future informational videos coming out, so be sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so you know each time we're posting a new video. But I want to thank you so much for being here with me today. You have a great one, and until the next time here on the homestead, see you guys later.
And then we've got this guy over here digging holes and drinking dirty water. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right, so yeah, Apollo likes to do that. He's got fresh
water over there, but he thinks it tastes better to dig holes and drink the water out of the puddles, I guess.
Hey, no! He just took the time.
From where? Did it have anything?